All right. Hello, Shey. We are so freaking excited to have you. We know how amazing you are. You just literally went Ambassador Diamond and you pulled volume out of God, literally, like just out of the sky. So I want you to just go ahead and tell all of these amazing people who you are, everything about your awesome, amazing story. And then after that, we'll just go into your awesome ambassador story because it's so freaking inspiring. And some of my girls said, oh my gosh, it's Shey. Well, now after the end of this, like, I'll just know that I'm going to be able to promote this month. They're like, I know, but after she talks to me, like, I'll really know. Like, literally, people text me that. So I'm so excited.
Well, I sure hope so because you 110% can do it. Also, did you search through all of the pictures to find me to unmute me?
You were only on like the third page, so yeah.
You can search my name just so you know. You can save yourself some time in the future.
I know. I should be smarter, but it's fine. I'm old.
Okay, you're double ambassador. It's fine. So, hi, I'm Cheyenne Knox. I'm 21, and I'm officially the youngest ambassador diamond.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
I fought for that. Man, I fought for that. I remember when I went presidential, I texted Cami and I was like, hey, so I'm going presidential this month. I think I'm like the youngest one, right? Maybe. And she was like, yeah. And then she said on stage that I was going to be the youngest ambassador diamond. And my upline, Courtney Bohr, was the youngest. And now she's the youngest double ambassador. And I took her position as the youngest ambassador. So it's kind of cool.
I'll never be able to take that position. Maybe I'll do it for Black Diamond.
There you go. There you go. But I actually joined the business 3.5 years ago as a broke 18-year-old high school student. I just wanted gas money, and I was, at the time, I didn't realize I was running from everything I knew I didn't want. I grew up in government housing, government assistance, not a good childhood whatsoever. And I knew that if I wanted to have more in life, it was all up to me. And so I was going to do it the safe way. I was going to go to college. I was going to become a nurse. You know, the idea of making $15 an hour was just like what rich people made in my eyes, because, you know, I remember my mom coming home and, you know, opening her tax return. She was so excited, and it was like it was a presidential average for a month in a year. And it was just like, I knew that if I wanted to break that cycle, no one in my family had ever gone to college. No one in my family had ever made $1 million. Nobody in my family owned a home, nobody. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to take charge of my own life and I'm going to become a nurse. But I joined this business right when I guess halfway through my senior year. And I was like, okay, if I can make gas money, I can get through college and I can, you know, feed myself and pay my car payment and do the things that I need, because I can't depend on anybody else. And the idea of pulling out student loans just wasn't a thing for me, because that meant debt, and that meant poverty, and that meant going in the same the same cycle that I grew up in. And so I was like, I'm not taking out student loans. I applied for every scholarship I could find, and I was like, I'm going to run so hard with this business, and I'm going to make that extra income to where I don't have to pull out student loans. So I got started, and within my first month, I earned that $500 Ruby bonus at the time. 5 months and 3 days after I graduated high school, I promoted to Diamond. And I remember it was at that moment that I was like, I can control this. Like, this is something in my life that I can control, because before this business, I worked for like 5 months as a hostess at a restaurant. It's the only corporate America job I ever had, and I'll never work another one in my life. And they told me I was only worth $8 an hour. Whether I showed up and worked my butt off or showed up and was half there and barely worked at all. And I never missed a day of work. I never called in sick. I never got a single raise. And I worked there from the beginning of my school year to the end. And so when I realized I could put in my full effort of what I wanted into this business, I would get reimbursed for that. And there was a glass ceiling. So the months that I worked super incredibly hard all month long, while also being a full-time high school student, while also working a full-time job, while also being involved in 16 different organizations, being a varsity cheerleader captain, like all the things. I did all the things, and I don't know how I did it, but it was because I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. And so guys, I don't care if you're yellow, blue, green, black, purple, whatever the heck color language that you are, you've got to have some grit, because I knew what I wanted and I was willing to do whatever it took to get there. And so went to college and was like, oh, I'm a diamond. I can sit back, you know, because my team's gonna like keep going, and they're gonna like do all these great big things, and they're just gonna go diamond, and I'm just gonna keep making all this money while I go to college and become a nurse. You know, this is just great. I was making $2,000. You know, what more can I need? Yeah. Next month, I maintained executive. My entire team quit, and I maintained executive for 11 months. Okay. I was like, this is not what I envisioned for myself. How did I get all the way to that point? And now I'm at rock bottom in my business. Nobody wants to join. Nobody wants the products. How many of y'all are on here and you just texted your upline that this week? Nobody wants this. Nobody wants the product. This isn't working. You control that. Every bit of this business you control, every bit of it. And I tell my team that every single day when they come to me with their problems and they send me these long novel messages. I'm like, okay, what can you control? What can you control of that? Not all this stuff, not all this stuff, not all this stuff, not what they do, not if they quit, what can you control? So 11 months later, after shouting out Double Diamond every single month and not doing the work for it, but I was sure shouting it out to make it look good on my social media, March of 2018, I went to conference in February, maintaining executive, put my account $80 in the negative to get there, ate McDonald's and shared the dollar menu with my friend that we went there with, stayed in the most trashy hotel because I had to get somewhere around people that were where I wanted to be. So I sat in the nosebleeds at the very top of the conference, and I saw people on that stage with stories like mine. And I saw people on that stage that made me believe in myself for the first time, and that I wasn't just here for gas money, that I was here to change my life, and there was more for me. And then Mark gave his speech, and it was over from there. And I was like, screw it, I'm not just sitting in the floor. I'm going to be on that couch, and I'm going to share my story to thousands of people and inspire people. So 30 days after that, we went double diamond. 3 months after that, we went triple diamond. 3 months after that, we went presidential diamond. And now a year and a half later, we are ambassador. And it wasn't always beautiful. It wasn't always great. I lost a lot of people along the way. But everything that I went through and everything from my childhood and all the times I lost rank and all the times I saw massive paychecks and very small paychecks and all the times that I got mocked for what I did because I was in high school, and you all remember what it was like to be in high school. You'd wear a plaid colored shirt and somebody had something to say about it. Me doing this business, it was like the end of the world for them. And at the end of the day, every single day I told myself, I can control this. This will be the reason that my entire life changed. And so now I am sitting in my home. I purchased myself at 21. My car is in the driveway, paid off, completely mine. I've hit financial goals I thought it would take me my entire life to reach. And that's all because I said, I can do this because I control it.
I love that so much. And that, ain't that the truth? Like, I have people from high school from almost 10 years ago that still have stuff to say. And I'm like, bro, don't even know you. Like, it's just, like, and it will always, as your network grows, you'll always have the people, and that's okay. You just learn to, have that thicker skin. So I love that so much. And I love that you kind of shared like that it wasn't always perfect, because people will see that. And was it last year or the year before that you showed that you had $100,000 in your savings?
That was the very beginning of 2019, I think. Yeah, very beginning of 2019. So a year ago.
So you were like a presidential for like a year, right?
Yeah, I hit presidential in October. I purchased my car in December, and then by April I had paid off my car and hit a 6-figure savings account.
You guys, like, listen to that time frame. Within basically a year and 3 months, she was an executive. Some of you guys don't even know what that is. We don't even talk about it. It used to be on the charts. It's not even on the charts. It's like $150 a month. In January, she was an executive making about $150 a month. A year and like 3 months later, she had bought in her dream car, which I know is a Tahoe. She did it debt-free, AKA she actually paid for it. Just because you buy what you want doesn't mean it's actually yours. She actually paid for it, and then had a 6-figure savings at, how old were you?
I just turned 21.
Just turned 21. Holy crap. Most people can't even keep their head above water at 21, you guys. And I love it because we have all ages on this team. Like, I just signed a girl that was in high school too. And we also have like all ages. So it just shows like it really doesn't matter. Like you said, it's just that grit, Okay, so can you share with us your ambassador story and why you decided and what made it happen?
Yeah, so this story isn't just a 30-day story. This is like a year and a half in the making.
Really?
2.5 years at this point. Yeah, it was. I just woke up one day and just went ambassador, y'all. No, so I remember, okay, so October of 2018, I went presidential diamond. And that month, okay, it was pretty similar to the month of me going ambassador, where I woke up and I was like, you know, I think I'm gonna go presidential this month. I don't know. I was like 27,000 away at the time. It was the old chart, so like I knew exactly how far away I was, and I enrolled the triple threat that morning and was like, okay, Courtney, I'm gonna go presidential. And so, 30 days later, we went presidential. And so then right after that, I felt like I was on top of the world. I was like, okay, well, if I just decided I was going to go presidential, I can just decide I'm going to go ambassador too. So then the next month, I was like, ambassador, baby, like, we doing it. Absolutely not. That was funny. LOL. And then, so that was October 2018. So it wasn't until April of 2019, so a year from the day that I promoted to ambassador. April 1st, 2019, I shouted out I was going ambassador for the first time, like the first real time that I was like, we're freaking doing it. I pulled out the tracker, I did coaching calls, I went to my team's house, like we charted, I started all these things. I did a Zoom about it, and I still have the recording, and I watched it the other day and bawled my eyes out because I was like, man, just since then, you look different, you teach different, you lead differently, like everything. And so we did all the things, and we ended that month 65,000 from ambassador. Keep that number in mind. 65,000 we ended, and I was crushed. Okay. If you're on here and you've pushed ambassador before, which is a little amount of people on here, when you push for something that big and you miss it, and you got to do it again, I was like, somebody just take me out because I can't do that again. So I think that it was in that moment, we didn't hit it. We were so far. I was embarrassed because I had just rallied my troops for 30 days and then had to say like, sorry, we didn't do it. It was humiliating, and I shouldn't have let it do that to me. But every month after that, I announced it and I shouted it out with like a cute little over picture with my arms up, like May 2019, we're doing it every single month. And then like didn't ever have the same initiative that I did in April because I was honestly burned from it. Because I was like, I've never shouted out a promotion and missed it like that. The one that I felt that I decided I was going to do. So then 2019 happened. If you were around, you know what happened. And it just not, it wasn't good. And so I was like, okay, ambassador's just not in my cards this year. And so that December, okay, I barely maintained triple. And I mean like by 200 GB. Okay, it was not good. And I was like, how did I let it get this bad? Like, how did I go from, yes, I'm going ambassador, to like barely holding on to VIP where I was 2 years before that? And so I went into conference and I was like, okay, it's January. I'm freaking hype. I need this. Like 2019 was not my year, and 2020 is going to be my year. Okay. I was like, rise is my word. Like, we are rising this year. It's going good. And so I go into conference feeling the most unprepared I had ever felt in my life. I wasn't charted. I wasn't feeling great. A lot of my leaders were not on like their A game because of what 2019 was like. And I just went in there and I was like, great, they're going to announce ambassador bonus. And my red soul is going to be really pissed off because they're going to announce an ambassador bonus and I'm too far. And I'm just going to be like, great, all these people are going to go ambassador, but not me, not me. And I was already counting myself out. So we go to conference. What do you know? Freaking $30,000 ambassador bonus. And I was like, shoot, man, gosh, I'm so far. But then they announced that $3,000 reload. I was not maintaining presidential at this point either. So we leave conference. I still don't feel the fire that I thought that I was supposed to feel. And it's crazy because if y'all know Brittany Cromwell, she had the same story. Like, we felt the same way, and we both went ambassador at the same time. So, I come home and I'm like, okay, I don't know when this is going to happen, but let's just start pushing now. I'm just going to put a date out there. So I was like, all right, March 2019, we're doing it. We're going ambassador. Didn't in March either. So I was like, are you joking me? Like, I just did it again. And then I was like so defeated. And so we like barely maintained presidential. It wasn't, it was like 131,000. Okay. So 2 months ago, ended March, not close to ambassador. So to go ambassador, if you're new on here, you have to have 250,000 in volume. So 131,000 is quite far. Okay. Like, it's not just like you barely missed it. You like really missed it, sister. Like, you're far off. All right. So go April 1st. Okay. We all make that initial post of the month, and we're like, oh my gosh, March was killer. My team slayed it. We got all these promotions, like thousands of customers, wow, but you just wait, April's gonna be better. We all do it. Okay. It's just, even in December, I was like, man, our team crushed it. I'm like, barely maintaining triple, but it's fine. We killed it in our own way. So we all do it. So April 1st, I was like, okay, our team is going to move mountains this month. I ended the post and I was like, our team is going to move mountains this month. You should stay around to watch. But I meant my team, not me. I wasn't going ambassador. I was too far. I only had 131,000 in volume. And I was like, there's no way like that it's going to go up because I just didn't feel the momentum yet. I just didn't. And so I, was talking to my team about it. A lot of people on my team were like really close to promotions, but even after their promotions were done, I would still need like 120,000 in volume. So that's how far I was. Okay. I was like, y'all, I just love it for y'all that y'all get to promote, but I'll just be back here. Y'all do your thing. So customers started rolling in. It was $249 deal. And the highest amount of customers we'd ever enrolled was 800. And we hit like 1,500 halfway through the month. And I was like, what are y'all on? Like, what is going on? And so we did a Zoom, and it was right before the 17th. It's like on the 15th. And I was like, I'm just so proud of y'all. Like, our enrollments are like crazy. And one of the girls commented and said, why don't you just go ambassador? And I was like, ooh, that kind of hurts when your own team is like, dude, get your crap together. Like, you should be promoting too. And so on the 17th of the month, I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, which I am not a morning person. If y'all get on my journaling Zooms, I'm sorry, y'all know what I'm talking about. But I woke up and I checked my volume, and I maintained Presidential Diamond on the 17th morning. And the earliest I'd ever maintained Presidential was the 23rd. And so I was like, what? Because in April of 2019, I maintained Presidential on the 23rd. And so I was like, we're already ahead. Like, we're already way ahead if I maintained on the 17th. And so I texted Kelsey Thornton. To know her is to love her. I love her so much. And I texted her and I said, I think I'm going to go ambassador. And the only thing she said was, bro, what? In all caps, because that's the only thing she knows how to say. And I was like, I think I'm going to do it. So I went live in my team page and I was like, okay, guys, we're going ambassador. Okay. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know who I think I am, thinking that I'm going to be able to pull in this amount of volume with our team. And I don't know. But I maintained Presidential, and I messaged Amanda Boucher, and she was like, if you maintain that early, you're ready. Like, you're ready for it. And that's all I needed. And so if you're on here and you're red, you know what I mean? Like, somebody tells you you can do it and it's done. Like, it's finished, it's over with. So I shouted it out and I posted about it, and I was like, all right, like, our team's going ambassador. And I set up all these contests. I pulled out the tracker, which, if y'all know what the tracker is, it's just like that big thermometer thing where you track your volume every day until you can hit that top goal. And I split it up in two. So I was like, okay, by the 24th of the month, before all orders run, we have to hit a certain amount of volume. And so if you're new on here and you're like, okay, this is a lot of volume, what does this mean for me? This means after you hear this story, you can do anything. You can do anything after you hear the story that I tell you.
I was going to say, so really quick before you finish, you guys, if you're new, what this literally means is that you're not in a 30-day sprint in this business. You're in it for the long haul, for the ups and the downs. And guess what? Then one day you get to wake up and make a $30,000 paycheck average. And this is how. So listen.
So I pulled out that tracker and I was like, okay, guys, I think the highest amount of volume we'd ever pulled in a day was like 9,000. And so when I did all the math for this, and I was like, okay, we have to hit 200,000 on the 25th when all orders run to be able to pull in at least 50,000 by the end of the month, which that is pushing it. I mean, everything I was saying, I was like, this is ignorant. Like, this is stupid of you to say this number out loud. And so I went live and I was like, we have to hit 169,000 by midnight on the 24th. And so I went live, and I'm sure people on my team were like, okay, she's on drugs because this is not happening at all. And so I went live and I shared this number, and I'm like, look, it scares me too. Okay. It's a lot of volume. Like, we have to pull in 14,000 in volume every day. And sometimes when I tell people, like, the same reaction that Jennifer Sugars on here has right now, and she's like, what? That's how I felt. Okay. So the same feeling you feel right now is exactly how I felt when I said that out loud. I was like, it's a funny joke. You're not really funny, Cheyenne, but this is really comical. So I said it and I shouted it out, and all my team, like, the involvement of these live videos, when at first you could tell there were not a lot of comments, not a lot of people were getting on the lives, and I was like, great, they're not really rallying with me. And I'm like, come on, guys, like, we gotta go. I need every person. And it was like every day that I started going live, people started to say, oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. We've got this. Oh, that's nothing. I need this much. That's fine. Like, I got this, and then we'll do that. And people started, like, realizing, and just, it's like I was saying these goals were so big, and then they started thinking they weren't big because we were accomplishing them, right? It was like they looked at this mountain as if it was a grain of sand, when 4 days before it was like Mount Everest and there was no way we were going to climb it. And so it was so powerful to me to see my team rallying, because at first I was like, is this weird? Like, I don't want to seem like this is all about me. How many of y'all are like that? You're like, I don't want this promotion to be about me. It's about everyone. But like, look, when you're going Ruby, you're rallying your 3 distributors. Just so happens that when I go ambassador, I just need every single human being on my team to do something, or I don't go ambassador. It's like I mean, the same way I went Ruby is the same way I went ambassador. I promoted my people, and that's it. Like, if you can go Ruby, you can go ambassador. It just takes a lot more volume and a lot more belief, okay, and a lot more Jesus. So I went live every day, and I just watched my team start saying these things of, we got this, and I promoted yesterday, but now I'm going to go diamond. Or, I had people that were maintaining executive the month before going double diamond. I had people not commission qualified going diamond. I had people that went from distributor to diamond in 30 days. I had people that went ruby, emerald, diamond, double in 30 days. Literally, it was the most insane thing. I had new distributors that I enrolled from TikTok on this chart over here. I had to get a poster board. There were so many. And it was like these people, they were like, oh, well, I got my 6 customers in like 24 hours, but like everyone else is getting like 30 and stuff. Should I do that? I'm like, yeah, you should do that. Yes, amen, amen. So I had people getting like 30 customers, and it's just because what they are brought into is what they will do. You got told when you got started, if you've been here for a while, you were like, hey, get 4 customers in 30 days. You're like, okay, done. What if I would have said 30? You wouldn't know the difference, right? You are what you get told. And so for Christy, she's like, all right, we're going triple ambassador tomorrow. Get it done. Let's go. Like, when you set the expectation and the culture for your team, that's what you're breeding within it. And so if you set mediocrity of not doing anything and you not checking in with them, you're breeding that into your teams, where when they enroll people, they're not going to talk to their people either. I can go off on a lot of tangents, so I'm going to stay focused. Blinders. So 24th comes around, okay, and we needed to hit 169,000 in volume. We only hit 147. And I was like, okay, we already missed our first big goal. This is beautiful. So I went live, and I was like, look, guys, okay, we missed our goal, but you know what? We serve an awesome God, and so I'm not done with this. So I threw the chart out. I got a new one, and I was like, look, we got to hit 250,000. All right, we already missed our big goal by like a lot. It wasn't like a little bit, it was a lot, and I'll be real, okay? It was like almost 20,000. That's fine, okay? We can do that in an hour, right? So then I brought out the chart, and I was like, okay, when all orders run in the morning, I'm going to go live again. I'm going to update you where we are at, and we have 5 days to pull it in. So I'm already also promoting on a day with one less day of the month, which was very stressful. So I only had 5 days after all orders ran. So I go to bed, I wake up, and I'm like shaking as I log into my eSuite to figure out what my fate was, because I just felt like this number was, I was like, it's going to be 200. Okay, God is going to come through for me, and it's going to be 200,000, and we're only going to need 50,000. No. So I open my eSuite, and it says 184,000. And I was like, okay, so we didn't just barely miss that one. We like really missed it. Like, we face in the ground. That's how bad that was. So I literally threw up. I made myself so sick. I bawled for like 2 hours because I was panicking, and I was like, I'm not doing this again. I will not fight this hard for another 30 days. So I went live. Okay, I gathered myself. I went live on my team page. I brought out the second chart, and I just was so vulnerable. I was like, look, okay, I've watched y'all fight in a way that you've never fought before. I have watched people promote that haven't worked in 6 months. I've seen people come in and enroll customers that I didn't even know like even existed. And I'm watching people do these things, and I'm like, we're not done. We're not finished. We did not come this far to only come this far. Yes, we've missed our massive goals by like a lot each time, but look at what we've done. I'm like, we have 5 days. It's now or never, and I need to know who is in this. And literally every single person, I mean, every person was like, I'm ready. Like, what do I got to do? And so I started sharing scripts. I started sharing what I was doing, because, hey, little hack here. I do the same thing that Christy tells y'all to do, okay? What? No way. Yeah, I get 10 hosts to post up every day. I post every single day. I post on my story every single day. I follow up. I follow new people, and I have reach out and have new conversations. That's it. I don't do anything special. The only thing that I've done is I've never stopped. Not when I don't feel good, not when I have the flu, not when something happens in my family, not when I have relationship issues, not when someone quits my team. I never, ever waver, ever, ever. Like today, Memorial Day, my family wanted to go out on the boat. I went out on the boat for a couple of hours, but you know what I said? Hey, y'all can go out all day. Like, I got to be back on the dock by like 2, okay? I got plans. I got things to do. And so I got off. I came home. I took a shower. I did all of my 10 posts to post. Like, you're looking at it as like, oh my gosh, it's so much, when it took me like 10 minutes to do my work. Okay. And now I've been on 4 trainings already. So that is the power of you not making excuses and you being consistent every day, no matter what happens in your life. It's not a matter of if life is going to happen. It's a matter of when. So if you know it's going to happen, that speed bump is going to hit a lot less harder, right? You hit a speed bump going 60 miles an hour, it's going to throw your wheels off and it's going to throw you off. But if you know the speed bump's coming, you slow down, you go over it gracefully, and you keep going. Okay. So big speed bump on the 25th. All right, yikes, we're like 67,000 away. Hence, a year before that, we ended 65,000 away. And now all orders run, and I am 67,400 in volume away, and I have 5 days left. And it was like God just opened the doors, and it was like the pearly gates were just there, and like angels flew out, and I was like, okay, you know what? It's done. So I texted everybody and I'm like, look, okay, I'm freaking doing this. I had people going live every single day in my team page. We were on work Zoom all day long. I mean, y'all, I wish I would have recorded some of these work Zooms because we're like listening to Worthy by Elevation Worship was like my song last month. I played it on repeat. Some of my team was like, hey, can we get another song? Nope, we can't. I need this song, only this song. And I would just sit there and bawl. I mean, just like emotional, hysterical, stressed, and I looked up my symptoms on WebMD and I was like, am I having a heart attack? I think so. And so I had to go like lay down in my couch. I threw all the pillows off my couch and just laid flat because I thought that I was dying. And so we started pulling in the volume, and every single day we need 14,000 in volume every single day. And that number still, I'm like, how in the Sam heck did that happen? I don't know. But I was praying. I was like sitting in my shower, like just sitting there, just crying, like praying out loud, like asking the Lord. And it was like, I wasn't asking him for the promotion. This is the difference. I wasn't saying, please give me ambassador. I wasn't saying, I want ambassador. I was saying, give me the words to give to my leaders when I have the space with them that I have in my leader Zooms. Give me the messages. Give me the scripts. Bring the people to me that need this business more than me. That's what I was asking for, because I'm not somebody who's going to pray for the things to come into my life and me not do the things for them, because God cannot bless the steps you're not willing to take. And many of you are like, okay, yeah, I'll journal about it. You know, I'll pray about it. I'll do these things. But like, God can't bless anything that you're not doing. Like if you're not sending out the messages, he can't bless the people to reply. You know, he can't bring the people to your post when you ain't posting, right? So many people on my team, they're like, this just isn't working for me. And I go to their Instagram and I haven't posted in 74 years. I'm like, well, would you even join you? Probably not. Okay. No. So when I'm going ambassador, it wasn't like I just woke up and was like, hey, I'm ready. Like, bring it to me. Like I had to fight like hell for that promotion, even after a year and a half of pushing for that every day. And it was like, almost like when I saw that I was the exact same way, but I had 5 days left a year later, it was like, God was thanking me for being patient and for being a servant leader and for showing up every single day, because I knew I fought for that and I knew I went through hell to get there. And so every day we kept pulling in the volume. I would refresh and it was like 8,000 volume was brought in, and I'm like, where? I don't know. And I would look in my downline orders and it's like 300 BV orders from customers that like were canceled. It was insane. We call it God volume, right? It was just coming out of nowhere. So on the last day of the month, I woke up and was like, oh, there's going to be like card declines, right? Like they're all going to run. I'm going to get all this volume from card declines. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. And I got like 1,700 BV, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's great, because I was at 339,000 on the last day. So we had to bring in 11,000 in volume on the last day of the month, which, you know, at the time, it's scary. You have one day, like you fought all this time, you have 11,000, it has to happen. So I got on a Zoom with my team. I got all my leaders on there. I was bawling, of course. I'm real emotional at this point. I'm hungry and I'm tired. And I'm like, look, we are not done. We are so close. And I told every single live that I did, I said, we are not only going to run and hit the finish line, but we're going to soar past it. And I'm like, okay, Cheyenne, that's ignorant, because like you're already having to pull in all this ridiculous amount of volume to hit 250. Why do you think you're going to go past it? So we promoted at 5 p.m. Okay, so I got to have Cami on, like all these people were on Zoom, and I refreshed it. It said Ambassador Diamond. It was like the most incredible moment of my entire life, because I like couldn't even catch my breath. I just like everything left. It was just like the biggest deep breath ever, just watching it say Ambassador Diamond. And it's something that I prayed for forever. And I remember when I first caught the vision after I went Diamond of like, I can do this. I told everybody, I will be ambassador. I will be ambassador. I talked like an ambassador. I posted like an ambassador. Every ambassador there was in the business, I was that person that was like, hey, so like, what tips do you have for me? Like, that was me, because I was like, I want to be everything that an ambassador is, not just for the title, but for the fact that that will mean that I accomplished something. How many of you are like me, where it's like, I was on C team basketball. I'm like, what a waste of 6 foot tall. Like, I'm C team basketball. I was not good at volleyball. I was not good at, like, I would try out for student council president, didn't get it. My grades were like fine. Like, everything was just average, but it was because I never gave myself the chance to be good at it. I would show up to one practice and like sucked it and trying to shoot and score, that I gave up on myself. And so it's like, when I joined this business, it was like, I control this, nobody else. It doesn't matter if my team doesn't work, I can do it for them. It doesn't matter if so-and-so doesn't believe in me or so-and-so mocks me. Who says ambassador when they promote? Cheyenne Knox. Me. And so when that happened, we promoted at 5 p.m. and it was like everyone on my team just kept going. I was like, okay, we did it. And they were like, sorry, we're on Zoom, like, catch you later. We had 3 double diamonds promote at midnight. We had 5 diamonds promote at midnight, and we ended the month with over 260,000 in volume. So not only did we crush, I just got goosebumps everywhere. Not only did we hit the finish line, but I told them we're going to soar past it, and we soared past it. Not only was the first goal ridiculous, of me thinking we could even hit 250,000, God said, ha, here you go, and blessed us even more past that. And so we had 107 promotions on our team, and I think we only needed like 54. That's how many people kept promoting and kept going and kept pushing, and people that promote, I mean, so we had, I think, 6 double diamonds. 4 of them promoted on the 25th, and they weren't even set to go double that last month. And it's just what happens when, Jade went live in my team page at like midnight. Okay, we're on work Zoom once again. And she goes live randomly in my team page, and I'm just sitting there, and she starts, doing her Jade thing, just preaching. You all know Jade, and she was just preaching in there. And then she was like, what does it mean when Cheyenne goes ambassador? She's like, I know there's a bunch of new people on this page, and you're like, okay, yeah, cool. Cheyenne's been ambassador, earning a $30,000 bonus. What does that mean for me, And she said something that literally I ugly cried in this chair right here on Zoom. I was just like Kim K crying, because she was like, when Cheyenne goes ambassador, yeah, sure, it says Cheyenne Knox ambassador diamond, and yeah, your team's ambassador, but what does it mean for you? It means that she's paving the way to show you that it can be done. And you just watched her pull in a stupid amount of volume for this promotion, and she didn't have a single bit of fear. And so from the 17th of the month, I kid you not, guys, even knowing that I needed to bring in over 6 figures of volume, I never doubted it. I never had fear. I never thought it was going to happen, not going to happen. Every time I set a goal past that point, I was like, oh, 14,000, nothing, 18,000, done. Consider it done. Like, I just had this overwhelming amount of faith. And so I was listening to a podcast a couple of days ago. Guys, anytime you hear a leader talking about something cool they learned, it's not something they thought of. They heard it from a dang podcast. Okay, so they're not that cool, promise. Everything I say is regurgitated from some podcast or book that I've heard it from, or people like Christy that say stuff on Zooms. I'm like, oh, it's definitely on my dream board now. So I heard it, and it was this guy, and he was like, did you know that you are born with 2 God-given fears? One of them is the fear of falling, and the second one is the fear of loud noises. I didn't mention fear of promoting. I didn't mention fear of too much volume. I didn't mention fear of inadequacy. I didn't mention fear that you can't do it, or that you're not good enough, or that there's no way you can be ambassador, that you're too young, or you're too old, you're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough. None of that. That is all fear that you have created and that you've allowed the enemy to tell you. That's not God-given. And so my fear of not going ambassador was not a fear that God was going to give me. He gave me faith because he created me to be powerful. He created me to make an impact. He created me to be bold and to pick up mountains and throw them and not just move them. I wasn't here to be inadequate. I wasn't here for me to sit there and listen to the devil and say, oh, maybe you should do it next month. No, screw you. I'm doing it now. Because I know what I want, and I know what I came here for. And I came here because I wanted to control my future and not allow my past to tell me that I was going to live in government housing, that I was going to live in government assistance, and that my kids were going to know struggle like I did. Absolutely not. So some of you need to take initiative of your own life and your own business. It doesn't matter if Becky Sue is your emerald on your chart and she doesn't work. It doesn't matter if Sally Sue is supposed to be that new distributor that just killed it because you worked so hard to get her in the system. Guys, fight like you did to get people to join for them to be successful. All the people that are on your team right now, you fought to get them to join. You posted every day. You followed up with them. Now fight for them to be successful just as much as you wanted to get them in the system. It'll mean different things. And Christy just said it on a Zoom, like, yeah, you want that $5,000 paycheck when you go double diamond, but what happens if you go double diamond and maybe you just make that decision and you don't promote? Now all those people that are just here for those couple $100s a month, you showed them it can be done. And so I was not about to push so hard to go ambassador and tell my team all these things and push so hard with them and fight for them and pave this way only for me to get off the path and sit down in a chair. No, I showed up every day and fought for them to show them that they can do it too, because now I have people that are so far from ambassador and they're like, yeah, I think this is my ambassador year. Because now I'm an ambassador, so why can't they? They see me, they see I'm like, I'm in my PJs, not wearing a bra, I don't have makeup on, I don't have my lashes on, my nails are crusty. Like, they see that I'm a normal human being and that if I can go ambassador, so can you. You know, I haven't gone through a lot of life. I'm 21 years old, but I can tell you that I know what I was running from and what I came here for. So
You haven't done a lot of life, but you've done a lot of business, a lot of amazing goals, you guys. Like, it's so crazy because I think about it too. And I was explaining after you did this last month, and you guys, we went double ambassador last month. We needed 75,000 and we ended up bringing in 110 because I said the same thing. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say, give me 75 and us only bring in 70. Ain't going to happen. Like, we're shooting beyond it. But it's so crazy because I was telling someone your story and I was like, you guys, her journey for that year and a half or 2.5 years, whatever it was, they brought in the same amount of volume in 2 weeks, like approximately 2 weeks, you guys, that she did for that first 2 years because she had just made that decision, you guys. And I love how she said, like, oh my gosh, I wrote that down. God cannot bless the steps you're not willing to take. I'm like, oh my gosh, ain't that the fire? Like, you cannot expect to get distributors if you're not going to actually send out the messages. Like, God put them in your place already, but you have to actually do the work to get them. But oh my gosh, I honestly just want to end it because I'm like, guys, we got to do this. Like, we're going. And it's so crazy. Like, we were just talking about this on your Zoom, but staying hungry, you guys, like, you have to stay hungry. I want to ask you this and ask you what you do to stay hungry. And did you just promote last month and then sit down this month and just clap for yourself?
no, as much as I would have loved to go ambassador and go sit on like a beach somewhere for 3 weeks and just not touch my phone for the rest of my life, I would have loved it. But that's not what I do because I didn't just come here to go ambassador, because you know what that means when you get to some promotion and you're like, woo, I've arrived. God humbles you really quickly. And he's like, oh yeah, you liked that $30,000 paycheck? Well, here's two. You know, you can't sit back. You can't slow down. And so what I did is that, guys, I did a Zoom for my team the other day and I can send it to Christy, but I did it specifically about saying there will never be a time in this business you do not have a goal. Sure, you went double diamond last month, but there's always a fast start to be earned. There's always a distributor that enrolled that needs to go Ruby. There's always somebody on your team who just promoted to Ruby that needs to go Emerald. There's always a check you're trying to reach or those dream board goals you got. There's never not a goal. There's never something that you don't want. Like when my new distributor's like, sorry, you know, I can't squeeze it in. You know, I just got like this job and stuff that I make $8 an hour. I just can't do it. And I'm like, oh yeah? Well, what about all the years that you've been putting into this business that you still have things you want to accomplish that you're just giving up on? You know, like you always have a goal to be accomplished, whether you see it or not. So, you know, I went ambassador and I was tired and I just killed myself to promote to that rank. But you know what? Now I got to help other people go ambassador because I want to be top 20. And that is not going to happen just by going ambassador because all the people in this company are freaking legit and they don't slow down. So I'm like, wait, whoa. Y'all are like triple ambassador presidential 2.0. And I'm like, I can't even open mine yet. So on the 18th, I opened my 2.0. And by noon on the 20th, I was charted diamond. And that is because I had a goal. I set a goal for myself and I'm not getting left behind and I'm not going to let Christy be ambassador 2.0 and me be nothing over here. Like I got to keep up because I'm trying to do big things. And so when I sat there and I was like, yeah, I opened my 2.0, let's go Ruby. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Threw that Ruby chart out there, grabbed the diamond one and filled that in. And so now I have so many people that I get to work with and hopefully just find, you know, and it's not me just saying I'm going to find my runners. I am the runner. Like we want those runners, right? And we're like, oh, I'll start showing up when I get that runner in my team. You know, like when that person just like gets their shopping spree super fast and they like want to go diamond and get that 15,000 over, then I'll go double. Nope. You're going to start attracting the duds that you've been finding because you're being a dud. Like you've got to be the runner you want on your team. You want to attract a diamond, somebody that is willing to go diamond, that's hungry for it. You have to show them what hunger looks like. You have to show them the things that you want to do. Like y'all, if you want to know when I'm in the bathroom, it's probably on my Instagram story. Like my whole life is documented. My dad the other day was like, hey, so you weren't answering my phone and I realized you were on a Zoom. Like everything is on my Instagram story. And that is because I am not just a distributor. I did not come here to wear black, green, and bling and wear an It Works shirt and say, oh, yep, I'm a rep for this company. No, I'm here to show people every aspect of my life of what this business has done for me. When I'm driving in my car at 10 a.m., I don't have to say anything other than the fact that I'm in my car at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, okay, while they're at work. I want to show them what it is that this business has allowed me to do. Because sure, when I first got started, you know, I'm a distributor. Yeah, oh, I'm a distributor for It Works. Like I'm, you know, going Ruby this month. Like we all start at that point, but then you start accomplishing these things and you're like, shoot, I just earned $500. I'm going to make 500,000. Why not? And did you know, Pam said this on a Show Me the Money call. I'm just so fired up. My cheeks are red. It looks like I'm sunburned. I'm sweating through my shirt right now. I cannot do a Zoom without sweating. It's impossible. I was wearing joggers and a hoodie before I got on this. I was like, I need to change. This isn't going to work out. But, you know, we were on that Show Me the Money call and she was like, did you know that it's in the compensation plan to make $1 million a month? And she said, did you also know that when we go beyond $1 billion, that it takes all of you, and how much of it do you want? And I was like, all of it, give it all to me. But like, we all play a part in that. And literally this compensation plan, there's no cap. You can make as much money as you want. And some of you are just like letting it pass you by. You got a distributor and you missed your fast start. Go take $150 and put it in the trash can. That's what it should feel like. Like stop missing out on all the things that this business can give you. You're not here to be mediocre. I promise you, you're not here just to be a It Works distributor. You're here to accomplish one thing after another. And like, yeah, I bought a house, but like now I want to buy a rent house because now I want to make more money. And how can I turn this into this? And now I want to buy like an RV park so I can have residual income. Like it just never stops. And it's like, I want, you know, the things I wanted 2 years ago are not things I want now because I already did them. You know, and it's like now I'm like, okay, you know, I remember when I wanted to go ambassador so bad and then I maintained ambassador this morning. And I'm like, remember last month when I didn't even know this was like, I didn't know how this was going to happen. And now I'm over here maintaining ambassador on the 25th. Like those are the little things that keep me going. That's how I stay hungry, because I'm like, man, I used to pray so hard when I was a diamond maintaining executive for people that want this business like me. And now God's like, here, you know, here's all your people. I'm blessing your steps. Here's all your leaders. And now what if I slow down? They do too. And then I'm not taking care of my people. We did a leader Zoom the other day with Claire Flores and Rachel. And Claire was on there and she's like, you know, I was kind of having a bad day. It wasn't feeling very great. And I had a lot of negative people coming to me, like people on my team, they're being super negative. And, you know, I was enrolling these people and it was hard to like look at my phone. You know, we all have those days. Okay, we're not perfect, not a unicorn. We have those days sometimes where we're like, I just don't really want to do anything actually, but like die in my bed. I don't want to do anything. And she was like, I was having one of those days, but she was like, you know what I realized? That if I can't handle the things I have, God's not going to give me more. And that hit me like a ton of bricks because it was right after I went ambassador. All I wanted to do was sleep. I had no energy whatsoever. I was drained. I didn't want to even look at my phone because all I had done was this for 30 days. And I was like, if I can't handle what God has blessed me with, he's not going to bless me with more because I can't handle what I have. And so that goes a lot of ways. Like maybe you've been making money and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to like American Eagle. I'm going to go like buy a Louis. I'm going to go buy a new car. Nope, that's not what you do. That's absolutely not what you do. That's not how I hit a 6-figure savings account. And Ashley Mayfield and Jason Mayfield got all the way to ambassador without buying a single car. Okay, you can do it. You just have to understand that there is so much power and understanding that you must handle what you have before you can ask to receive more. That comes with money, that comes with distributors, that comes with promotions, that comes with leadership, that comes with your personality, that comes with faith. Like if you don't appreciate the faith you have and start asking God for things and praying and doing all these things, why is he going to bless you with more? You're not even asking it for the little bit that you already have. So guys, stay hungry by constantly realigning your vision. Okay, you can get very complacent in this business. It is very, very easy to slow down. Very easy. I mean, I'm sure I could probably do it if I tried really hard and was just like, you know what, I'm going to take a day off. And then the next day you're like, man, yesterday was pretty great. I don't have to do anything. I'm going to do it again, because you're so used to going to work and having someone bossing you around. And so used to going to work and they're like, hey, you have to file this or you can't go home. Like you couldn't go to the bathroom when you wanted to in most places. I mean, when I was at school, I'd ask to go to the bathroom. Okay, now I can do which bathroom you want. You got 4. Like, go find, like, now you can do what you want. But like, you have to understand that you have so much influence over that. And you make that decision to keep fighting for everything that you want. You have to make sure that you're doing all the things to match the efforts of what you want. It doesn't just come, and the being hungry doesn't just come. You've got to make sure that you're like, okay, I'm going diamond, but like, what's after that? Because when you get to diamond, what you're going to do is slow down, because you don't have an end goal. What's your end game? Not diamond. Because if it is, then you're going to get to diamond and go right back down, because what do you do when you coast? You go down.
Gosh. Okay. I am like obsessed with you, but I want to share a couple things. Number one, you guys, so we were kind of going back and forth like on the last week of the month, or I don't even know how, honestly, it was all one day to me, but we were going back and forth because we were both going ambassador. And I actually just got a card this morning from you, and I want to say thank you on here. I was going to message you, but I was like, you guys, she literally sent me a card, and it was so sweet. It just was like, thanks for inspiring, like, thanks for running with me. And it was like so sweet. And so I just want to thank you for that. But I think one thing that you just said that is so underrated and people might need to hear again is like, ask. You guys, like, there's so many different things that we ask for, and it can go 2 different ways. Like, we ask for distributors, and I'm going to use one of my girls as an example. I'm obviously not going to say her name, but you know, for so long she asked to be a high distributor enroller. She asked. And then last month she didn't sign very many distributors. And now when you just said that, it just reminded me of the things that she was saying to me last month. And she said, like, I'm overwhelmed. She said, I'm overwhelmed with the amount of people that need me. And it just goes hand in hand. Like, you just literally told God, like, hey, I can't handle it. I can't handle it right now, you know? And sometimes that's as simple as like literally like outsourcing and things like that. But you guys have to be willing to handle it, you know? And I think it comes with steps, and it comes with figuring out how to do that. And then sometimes some of you guys, you're like, yeah, I want to feel like what she's feeling, but I don't have that feeling. Ask for faith. Ask for that fire. I ask for that belief, you know, be like, I want what Shey's got. Like, give me her fire, you know, like, ask for that, you guys. Like, you have to ask for everything, you know. And it's funny because Pam always says it on her podcast, and everybody says it, but like 30,000 BV is no different than 60,000 BV is no different than 600 BV, you guys. It's all the same to God. It's just what we're asking for, you know? But I love that. But is there anything that you want to leave these? I mean, what you just said could be perfect to leave them with, but I don't want them to hear my voice. I want them to end with your voice. If you have any last thing that you want to share.
So I actually was just thinking about something and I completely forgot what it was, and I was like ready to go off. I forgot it. Oh man. I mean, I guess, guys, you know, we were just talking about it. And I think that when people always ask, okay, look, what's your secret sauce? You would not believe the amount of people that message me asking me for help. And I just wish that I could just love on all these people and just share all the things with them. But I'm like, go to my YouTube. All the gold is there. I don't know how to help you. I'm sorry. I wish that I had all the time of the day, but I don't. But people are constantly asking, you know, how did you get to this point? This, you know, thing, like, there's got to be something. And we're always looking for what, you know, these other people have. And we're like, they must have something that I don't. They must do this. They must have this. They must have grown up this way. They must look this way. Guys, it's consistency. 110%. Because the person that I am now, I just imagine back to when I went presidential and was like, oh, you know, November 2018, I'm going Ambassador Diamond. If I would have went ambassador then, I don't even know. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know who would even still be on my team at that point, because the person I was then, I was not ready to be an Ambassador Diamond leader. And so some of you are asking, even those of you that are like, I have been praying, I have been asking, I've been asking Christy every single day what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, what's wrong with me? It's because God is preparing you for the person and the leader that you need to become and who you need to be in order to lead the team that you have. And the people that are willing to admit that and say, I'm probably not the leader that I need to be in order to lead a diamond team. Y'all, you're over here like, I did a coaching call for a girl one time, She wasn't even Ruby, okay? She was like one of my new distributors. And I was like, girl, I'm so excited for you. And she was like, so I'm like, I'm really nervous. Like, I have a question. I'm like, yeah, what is it? And she was like, how do I lead an ambassador team? I'm like, whoa, girl. Okay, so like you're gonna be ambassador one day because you cared enough to ask that and you figured it out. But like, you are not who you need to be to lead the team that you want right now. You have to grow. And so many of you are asking for these checks and these promotions and these bonuses and these people and these things, but like you can't handle that right now. And so when I was going ambassador, it was like, okay, I guess I'll read another book. I didn't promote again. Like, okay, I guess I'll do another thing. But it's like the way that I handle situations is so much different than, I tried to make sure everybody was happy and I tried to pull people along all the time. And I tried to I was texting all my leaders individually to get them to show up to my leader Zooms. Okay. If you go back to my YouTube channel to like October of 2017 or something, there were 2 people on that Zoom. You can see them. They're both on there. They're not on my team anymore, but I showed up for them. The 2 people that were showing up to my team Zoom as a diamond, okay? And I cried after that Zoom. It's the only recording I have on there, and it's just 2 people on there, and it's me. And I'm like, team updates, okay? We got 2 customers last month. They were like 60, made me so proud. Like, I'm so excited. We're going double this month, just us 3, okay? That's how it was. But because I showed up for those people, all the tiny people, I was able to receive the reward of going ambassador. Because in the moments that I didn't feel like it, and the moments that I didn't want to keep going because I didn't understand what was wrong with me, on the moments I wasn't enrolling distributors and everyone else was, and the moments that people were promoting and I wasn't, and people were quitting my team left and right, and I felt like every text message I was getting was negative about my customers not being happy with their products or my distributors not working and wanting to quit. And it was like, that's all I was allowing in. I wasn't allowing the good things. I wasn't even going to church. Like, y'all, before this business, I like knew what God was. He was like, oh yeah, like, that's God, I'm a Christian. That's as surface level as it was. And this business, every single day, the people have brought me to that. How many of you drop a one if this business has completely transformed me from the inside out? I don't even recognize my family, like literally toxic family. I deserve a reality TV show for my family at this point. I think like half of them are in jail, half of them this, half of them have like, it's wild. But, I'm the black sheep, I like to say. But there's so many things, and they're like, you've changed, money changed you. No, this business changed me from the inside out to show me who I was meant to be. 100%. And I feel that every single day. And so don't allow anybody, I don't even know what question you asked, but just let me finish. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be talking about, but don't allow a single person to slow you down, whether it's somebody on your team or someone from high school or someone in your family, because it always tends to be the people that you never thought it would be. My very best friends, people that went through everything, that knew everything about my life, who watched all the struggle I went through, were the first people to leave me because I joined this business. They were the first people to mock me, to say things about me. But the people that I've received on the other side, it was like God, that gift where it's like you're giving him the teddy bear because he's asking for it, like a little tiny teddy bear, and behind his back is like this huge one that you only get at carnivals. That's his business. The things that I thought that I wanted, the things that I thought, the person I thought I was, the things that I thought about myself, the relationship that I had with God was like this big. And now it's like every day I'm handed the big teddy bear. Like, oh, you thought this? Okay, well, here's ambassador. Oh, you thought this? Well, here's this. Okay, you wanted this leader, but like, here's this one. Oh, you thought you had this best friend in high school? Oh, well, here's this one. There's so much more coming for you. But the first thing you have to do is ask yourself, what can I control? And start doing that every single day and never waver, ever, ever waver. Because I'm sure Christy's not missed a Zoom. Christy shows up every single day. When Christy says she's going to be on a Zoom and she's going to host something, she doesn't flake. When Christy says she's going to be in an event, she's there. When Christy says she's going to do a coaching call with you, she's on the coaching call. Her life's crazy. My life's crazy. Your life's crazy. But like, we're all doing it together. And when you're running a race, you're not running that race by yourself. You're all trying to beat the person in the front. So if you're somebody in the back right now, we're all running the same race. And so you just got to decide how bad you want it. Because sometimes you hear those stories of like the Olympics and those people like, they're like, I've never won a race before and I just won the Olympics. Like, that's what it's going to be. You've just got to decide what you want and just keep going every single day. Because what you want's on the other side of that hard. Why do you think that it's called the top 1% of the world that's successful? Because only 1% of the people are willing to do whatever it takes.
Oh, I'm dead right now. Okay. All right. Thank you so freaking much. You guys, like, this was such fire. We have so many people working so hard for promotions, and some that are brand spanking new. And I know this is just going to light a fire under their butt. and inspire them about something they don't even know how to do yet, but you just told them that they could and that they should. And I am so thankful for that. So thank you so much for being on. And I know it's
I'm so
late.
excited for y'all.
Yay! Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.